I'm going live.
Okay.
Let me know when you see it.
It's up there.
We're there?
Yep.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to our event in Rocking the Healthiest You, our private group that we just use to help educate you guys, share our heart, share our information with you, because our passion, our mission is to help as many people as we possibly can to feel better and to reach the goals that are important to them. So my name's Eilers-Heffner. I am a Sapphire ambassador that is next to the very tippy top of the company. I am a physical therapist by trade, college professor, homeschooling mama to 4. And obviously I have a very full life. And what has been incredible about this Plexus journey, besides my health testimony, which I'm going to share about, but is the coming along and being able to help people achieve health through natural means has been so rewarding, and not only rewarding as a person, but rewarding to support my family. So I am very much replacing my PT salary, and we are just like being really smart with our money right now. And so I am still working a little bit, but with plans to definitely not be working outside of the home. So super exciting. So my story started because I was having a lot of candida yeast issues. I have rheumatoid arthritis, Lyme disease, Sjogren's, and Hashimoto's. So that's 3 autoimmunes plus Lyme. And I had some really miserable days. So not only did I have no energy, I felt like I needed a nap. I was craving sugar and coffee and hiding from my kids to consume it. Not so much the coffee, but the sugar. And just barely making it through my days. My husband was in school, second career, and I was working full time and then still managing a household and 4 kids, trying to support him the best that I could to get him through his degree. So, oh my goodness, talk about being busy. You guys, there were days that I couldn't button my pants, so I was wearing leggings. There were days that my husband had to dry my hair. And there were a lot of days that I couldn't open a sippy cup for my little kids. They're all growing up way too quickly, but they were all quite young when I started this journey. And through support of a naturopathic doctor and really calming down my immune system, in addition to these products, have been so life-changing for me. I am working out every day. Today was day 9 in a row. Unbelievable for me. Like, I have not had a track record like that in a very long time. I can ride my bike with my kids. I can be outside. I can take them to do things. I can open their sippy cups, but they don't really use sippy cups anymore. So there's that. And I can live life, and I'm not looking for a nap. I'm not looking for that next cup of coffee. I'm not looking for, oh my goodness, I need my husband to come home so that I can run away from the crazy, and it's just been so rewarding. So our key cornerstone gut health system is called the triplex. So that is our pink drink called Slim, which is a funny name. Like, we all wish it was called Balance, because it's very much about balancing our body, balancing our hormones through blood sugar regulation. When our blood sugar is regulated through our insulin, which is the master hormone, then all of our other hormones are coming into leveled numbers. So our thyroid hormones, our female hormones, our cortisol level is connected to all of that. Our adrenal support is affected by our blood sugar. And when it's regulated, we have sustained natural energy. This isn't a stimulant. It doesn't have caffeine in it. Emily was sipping on hers before we started this call in the evening here. It is not something that is just a fake energy. It's going to help to naturally detox our body and support our liver in that function. Our liver is the main detoxifier of our whole body. And so we're supporting our liver, we're actually supporting our kidneys, and we're supporting our blood pressure and our cortisol levels, like I had mentioned. So through all of that, we are just going to get amazing balance and amazing energy. And then what is even more incredible is that we have this synergistic approach to these 3 products. When they all are taken together, our whole body is getting multiple benefits, and even more so than taking a couple of these ingredients and a couple of that. But the way that they're formulated together is like top notch. So the next thing that comes into play is our amazing probiotic. It has 5 strains of beneficial bacteria. It has digestive enzymes, and it also has enzymes that are going to combat candida yeast. So candida yeast is something that you hear about. It's often related to a leaky gut syndrome because an overgrown gut of this bad yeast can cause the leaky gut, brain fog, lack of energy, weight gain, high stress, okay, among some other things. And also these are all related a lot to autoimmune issues. So people with autoimmune issues tend to have a leaky gut as well. So as we're breaking down the bad yeast and the bad stuff in our gut, we're replenishing with the good. And then we're also supporting our immune system through this probiotic. Not only is our immune system housed in our gut, but also this has grapeseed extract, and grapeseed extract is antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, and all of that. So you're getting huge bang for your buck in just that probiotic. So as we're breaking down the bad, we want to also make sure it's actually leaving our system. There are some other yeast fighting products that might try to kill off the yeast, but and then it's sitting there, and we don't want anything sitting in our gut. Our gut is meant to have mobility. And so our BioCleanse, the third product in the triplex, is a magnesium supplement, which is also very important because over 300 systems in our body are linked to magnesium. Magnesium is very important to so many cellular functions. And generally speaking, most people are deficient. So generally speaking. And so this is replenishing our magnesium. It also has bioflavonoids. So this is great for immunity. It's fighting off illnesses. And it also has some bicarb in it. So bicarb is neutralizing our gut lining, neutralizing our system. It's a more oxygenated environment. And also diseases cannot live in an oxygenated environment and a neutral environment. And that's what we're achieving with this. So when these 3 products come together, all of us on this call or have a testimony around just this triplex. So anyway, that is where I have come from. I'm super passionate, super excited. Lots of benefits to being a Sapphire ambassador here. I have given a very generous lifestyle bonus, or I could choose a Plexus Lexus, but so far we're choosing the lifestyle bonus, which pays both of my car payments and their insurance, which is incredible. Huge salary and huge jewel perks. So we had a holiday launch that came out at midnight and is almost completely sold out already. And the jewels got a little sample of that, as well as amazingly earned trips. So last year I was able to go to Hawaii. This year, everything has been obviously postponed with everything that is going on. And next year will be Mexico. So that is super exciting. I've never been in anywhere warm and relaxing. Sounds like a great treat to me. So this opportunity is definitely for anyone and everyone. And all of us on this call are very passionate for these reasons. And anyone that invited you to this is definitely there to support you in your dreams and your goals as well. Oh, and hello, I'm so sorry. I need to introduce Beverly Reynolds. She is such a sweet woman. She is a busy homeschooling mama to 4. She's a baby wearer. She's super passionate about natural health and healing. And she's a huge support to our team, very full of wisdom. So I cannot wait for you to hear from her. And there she is.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I don't know if I can live up to that introduction, but I'm going to try really hard. I have a very common Plexus story, and I think that is why they asked me to share tonight. So I just want you to know that almost everybody I've talked to can relate to this story in some way, because it all started with my friend posting on Facebook about gut health. And she was posting about gut health, and I was craving change in our lives in so many just different little ways. And so I was following her Facebook and following all the links because I love details. So I was following all of her links and learning all about gut health. And everything I was reading, it was relating back to what my family was dealing with. And then one day, my friend Jackie posted on Facebook that in order to support small businesses, small home-based businesses, one of the best things you can do is like or comment on their post. And I was gaining so much value from what she was posting that it almost felt obligated. I really wanted to give back to Jackie in some small way. So I was like, well, I'll support her. It was this huge decision in my mind, which is hilarious to me now. But at the moment, it was this huge decision because she was going to know that I had been reading everything she was posting. But I did it. I hit like that same day, maybe the next day, but I think it was the same day. Jackie messaged me and said, hey, Bev, thank you so much for supporting me. Can I get you some more information? And I was like, no, thanks. I'm good. No, thank you. And I said, no, I didn't want anything to do with that. But I kept going back to her Facebook page. I kept reading and I kept looking and I was so curious and I really wanted so much for some things in our life to just improve. I think that is the story that everybody has. They want change. They saw a way. They got nervous. They weren't sure they were going to run with it. And then finally they gave in to their heart and they did what they knew they needed to do. Everybody that I've talked to always says, I wish I would have gotten started sooner. I wish I would have just said yes sooner, because then I could have felt better sooner. And I feel like that is what my story has to offer, is that it's a very common plexus story, because I really wish I just would have said yes sooner. So the health benefits that my family has recognized, I started on the triplex too. It is my favorite combo. It still is after all this time. I was able to get rid of my anxiety. I was able to drop my migraines that were happening once a month. Super not fun. Thank you very much, Dark Bedroom. My digestion issues have disappeared. My sleep is amazing. So even when my kiddos keep me up all night, I'm like, it's okay, because next time I finally get to sleep, it's going to rock. It is amazing waking up feeling rested finally after so many. It is not normal to wake up feeling tired. I just want to get that out there for you, because I was told that that's just how moms were. It's not true. It's not how college students are. It's not a girl thing. It's not normal. You can feel rested when you wake up, and you should. I have lots more energy. I think that's coming across pretty clearly right now. My mood is stable. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I don't think my husband can hear me, hopefully. I could not have honestly said that before. So that is a really big deal in my house. Just feeling more even and level-headed is a big deal. I had a lot of candida issues. I didn't recognize them as that, but this has solved them. And with further research, I've realized that that was the root cause of all of my issues. My son, he has sensory processing disorder, anxiety disorder, sleep disorder, and oppositional defiance disorder. Sorry. These products have changed his life. He started just by drinking half of my pink drink, because it had to be a slow thing for him. And then he got to the point where he was able to take the kids' vitamins. And for any mama who has a sensory processing disorder kiddo, that's a huge deal. He went from not being able to leave our house without throwing up before we left to now he's one of the first in the car. And sometimes he's in such a hurry, he forgets his shoes. So this is a huge deal for anyone who's had a kiddo who's had struggles. And it's just such a small tweak that we've made to his life. just by adding some supplementation. And another awesome praise report, he has just within the past 2 months been able to start swallowing pills because of his sensory issues. So now he's able to take Vital Biome, which is adding a whole nother layer of healing for this awesome kiddo who's finally able to really be himself and show up as himself daily. My daughter was insulin resistant. She had constant viral illnesses. She had tons of candida issues that has almost completely disappeared for her. My husband has had high blood pressure his entire life, like in high school on the football team, still had high blood pressure. His blood pressure is actually better than mine now, which is hilarious to me. So that's a huge deal. None of these sound like life altering. I mean, Plexus has amazing recovery stories, right? Like you can read so many amazing testimonies. These are all just minor changes for us. But all of that added together has changed every single day for our family. And so that's what my story's gift is that this can change everyday life for you in tiny little ways that can make a huge difference in everyday life for your entire family. The business has also been a great opportunity for my family. It's provided options for us and choices that we wouldn't have had before on a whole different scale. But I'm not going to go too far into that because I really want to introduce Miss Emily Thompson to you. Thomas, I'm sorry, Emily. So Emily is a gentle Enneagram 8. If you know the Enneagram, you know that that is not necessarily usually a common connection. She has a master's degree in a subject that nobody knows about. I hope she elaborates on that. She transplanted to Texas 20 years ago, slightly jealous about that one. And she's married with a 4-year-old little boy and hopes to add more. She conquered incurable cancer 11 years ago. So I just want to say congratulations, because I feel like that's a huge accomplishment all by itself, because that takes extreme grit. I have watched that happen firsthand. She is a postpartum depression and anxiety survivor. I can relate. And she is thriving with common variable immunodeficiency. Recently, she left a 20-year professional career to prioritize her family and embrace being an entrepreneur. Emily, I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Thank you. And I did not even know some of those details about your family, and I'm so encouraged. Thank you so much for sharing that, Beverly. So I get to tell you guys about what I call my light bulb moment. So I started using Plexus in 2017 with the triplex, had really fantastic results. It helped me lose, 90 pounds. That was not baby weight. People tried to be really kind. It was pre-baby weight. And, but it was such a support to me, and it helped me with the postpartum anxiety that I was dealing with, as well as a significant amount of inflammation and just really a lifelong chronic illness that I dealt with. I stopped taking the products briefly because of cost. I couldn't afford them, which is, a legitimate thing, but also Plexus provides some really amazing solutions to that problem that I somehow just did not key into when it was my first go. And so I paused for a while, and then I came back. And when I was talking with Elizabeth, who's been a dear friend for years and years, she was explaining that she was getting to make some big transitions in her career. And that had to do with the opportunity and the success that she was finding in Plexus. And so for me, I had always been, forgive me for this, but I had been very anti-MLM. I think that, and we hear that, right? I'm anti-MLM. And it's funny because I'm like, the model is actually fantastic. Like people like John Maxwell are like, go MLMs. It's a fantastic business model. The problem is that we've all probably had some kind of a negative interaction with someone working with an MLM, which is what ends up happening. It's the reason used car salesmen, we think they're all shysters and they're bad people, but they're not. They just have a reputation. So I had to really deal with that in my own heart, and I had to really process it. And so when I'm hearing from Elizabeth that she's getting to, potentially retire early and all these amazing things, my first thought is like, how? And then she said, you know, Plexus. And so we continued on in that conversation. And I literally, my mind thought, if she can do it, I can do it. And then my next thought was I had to get over the hurdle in my own heart about working with an MLM and like being those people. And can I just say, like, I legitimately had to repent to the Lord. Like, I had to acknowledge my judgment and some of the ugliness in my own heart and a lot of the ignorance and a lack of understanding. So I did a deep dive to understand, like, where does MLM even come from? Network marketing, how does this even work? Found out that it is 100% a legitimate business model. I've worked in marketing my entire career in a traditional job. And this is, you know, using entrepreneurs and word of mouth marketing, which is something that like you can't pay for. Literally, you can't pay for it. And so the power that exists in this business model is really significant. So I had belief in the product. I grew to have belief in the company. I've continued to grow my belief for the company. And, you know, I had this epiphany, which is every single person who is working with an MLM is essentially a franchised business owner. Nobody is like, I'm not going to that McDonald's. It's not the original one from Southern California. Nobody does that. Nobody boycotts Starbucks because it's not the original one on Pike Street in Seattle. But it's absurd. But the idea that we don't support small business, home-based business, our friends and family, because of the type of marketing model that this company employs, like is insanity. And I was totally a part of it. I was those people. And so now, you know, I look at, you know, people who want, women, parents, husbands, wives, people who want to be able to stay home with their kids or have time freedom and not be tied down to 9 to 5s with 10 vacation days a year and literally spend your entire existence working, and that you can find that freedom working in a home-based business. And I'm like, we're like clapping for people that are stocking shelves at night when their kids are asleep, leading to like exhaustion and like absolutely a poor quality level of life. But we're scoffing at and quietly judging our friends that are working a home-based business that is utilizing word of mouth advertising. So y'all, I just had to repent for that. And I have come to this place now where the idea that I can, I'm a woman and I've worked in professional industries, corporate, higher ed, and church. There's a glass ceiling everywhere I go. It doesn't matter that I have a master's degree. It doesn't matter what my experience has been. There is a cap on what I've ever been able to do. And in this world, there's no cap, there's no limits. There's no boss who's like sitting there like telling me what my raise could be this year. It's me. It's how hard I work. It's God's favor and what he brings into my life. But there's no there's no one saying no anymore. And I'm surrounded by amazing, mostly women, but women and men, but I'm surrounded by people that are just like, go. And we're given resources. We have amazing community. It is an opportunity that has come with so much more. It's like the base level that we try to share with people is like, listen, guys, like Beverly was saying, just try the products. I promise, like it's going to change your life. And then when you can't afford the products, we're like, just trust me, share about the products. It'll change your life. And, you know, I struggled with like, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I do this sooner? And my husband just tried to encourage me with, you know, now's the right time. And so this is what it is. But it can be anything from just make sure that your products are a blessing to you and your family and not a burden to pay for, all the way up to literally no limit to anything you want to do, period. Amen. That's it. And everybody here is proof. Every person that I am working with and have encountered up to this point is proof. It is possible. It is real. The company is trustworthy. And one last thing, because I've worked in marketing, when a lot of people get frustrated and they're like, well, I don't want to work with an MLM because there's all those extra costs and I'm paying for all these people's things. Well, here's what I have to tell you. Where they would be spending millions of dollars on marketing, millions of dollars on marketing, on Facebook, on Instagram, on print, on film, in radio. Okay, I've done it all. It's us. That's where all that budget goes. So you're not paying extra for your product. You're paying extra for all your products, no matter what you get, no matter where they are, period. Because that's business capitalism. It's how people make money. So what you need to understand is you can put that money in the shareholders' pockets of Amazon and those companies, or you can support your friends and your family and understand that you're not getting ripped off. You're not losing. It's pure gain. You don't get anybody else who's going to hold your hand and walk alongside you like you're going to get working with Plexus ambassadors and people to help you. 100%, I guarantee. And with that, I get to pass it over to Heather, who's amazing. Guys, she is a mama. She's got 3 sweet little girls. She's a part-time pelvic health. That's dealing with all of our lady business and the things that we have going on down there. Physical therapy assistant, but she's a full-time, all-in heart and soul advocate for gut health and the benefits that it can have for your life. So if you guys want to check out what she has to say.
Thank you so much, Emily, for that. And I really enjoyed hearing from you as well and learning all those things about multi-level marketing that even I didn't know yet. So thank you for sharing that with us. I am a Gold Ambassador, and I'm so excited to share with you guys tonight a little bit about my health journey and also the financial blessings that I've received since joining. So I started my Plexus journey on May 29th of this year. And at that time, I had been laid off from work, and I had no idea when I'd be going back. My husband was also working from home at the time. So as you can imagine, we weren't quite making the same financial wage as we were before, or as we had anticipated making this year. And while I was redeployed for a short time at a nursing home, I met my friend Lauren Smithson, and she was sharing with me about these amazing products and how much they had helped her and how much they had changed her life. And I had been struggling for a very long time with abdominal pain, thyroid issues, and had been diagnosed with Hashimoto's hypothyroidism as well during my last pregnancy. You know, my hair was falling out. It wasn't growing back. It wasn't growing at all. And then my hormones were out of whack really bad. I was very emotional, and my anxiety was only getting worse. And I thought, you know, what am I going to lose if I try these products? So I decided to jump in, and I started with a triplex as well. And it seriously has changed my life. It has helped with all of those things. I had some candida issues going on as well that I didn't really realize that I had. And it has taken the majority of those things away. I had changed my diet drastically to try to address it, and nothing really helped until I found these products. So just after a month of taking the products, I knew I'd stumbled upon something really, really amazing. And I needed to share that with my family, with my friends, because I know that there's others out there who are silently struggling like I was. And so we started with a virtual event where you come and you read the information about the products, a little bit about the business and what it has to offer. And my mom, my sister, and my sister-in-law were the first to join my team and join me in this journey to better health. And when they joined me, it really encouraged me to share even more. I've never been an outgoing person in my life, and probably the majority of you joining us tonight would not have guessed that. And so when I went sober, I was like, okay, I have to share more. I have to be more outgoing. I have to tell others about these products. And so I did that. And within, or just over a month, I went sober. So that means 3 people join you. And also the blessing of around $300 a month. It's a very simple way to get your products paid for. and, or maybe have a little extra spending money or money towards bills that month. Senior Silver is next, and I went almost Senior Silver that same month in sharing, and that's about $500 a month. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure there's lots of people who could use an extra $500 a month, especially right now. And that same month that I went Senior Silver was in August. I also went Fast Start Gold. And what that meant for us was about $800 a month. And that has been such a blessing to us. This month, we were actually able to purchase my husband a truck. And before, we never would have dreamed of doing that whatsoever. And we had 2 cars that we needed to figure out something to do with them, because every time we drove them, we wondered, are they going to break down on us with our kids in the car? And so we were able to purchase him a truck and not have to worry about that payment every single month, because Plexus is helping to pay for that just by changing lives, just by sharing these amazing products and how they have changed your life, how they've changed your family's lives, and how they've changed your friends as well. And other people have already said this a little bit too, but it's really nice because you don't have to do that alone. We're there to walk through and link arms with you while you're learning about these products, while you're learning about the company, while you're starting your health journey as well. And we can really point you to some good information to be able to read so that you gain that knowledge as well. My team going Fast Start Gold meant some serious health and financial blessings for so many people, myself, my family. And I really challenge you to ask your friend who invited you tonight, what can these products do for me? How can they help me, either financially or through your health, or both? I like to say, and someone else also said this as well, Plexus is for everyone. If you live and are breathing and have blood running through your veins, and maybe if you're human, these products can really benefit you. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to my friend, and she's going to put a finishing bow on our event tonight. She is a wife, a stay-at-home mom with nearly an empty nest, an autoimmune warrior who loves all things green smoothies and cozy nights in. Take it away, Nicole.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Heather, for that introduction. So I know that many of you who are here tonight, or those who might listen to this a little bit later, have been talked to by a friend or a family member who believes that Plexus is the answer, the solution, the thing that you've been looking for in your life, either for your health or, like Heather was just talking about, your finances, or truly actually both. The company is just amazing. In those messages, or in those reach outs, or in those conversations that you've had with your friends or family, you may have said, but, or you may have said, I should, or you may have said, well, when. For instance, I really should take advantage of taking better care of myself. When you see your friend like Emily or Heather or Beverly or Elizabeth feeling better because you knew them when, right? I really should do something to maybe contribute more to my family, especially in these times. I really should expand my community and get a bigger base of support for the things I'm going through, because let me tell you, this community is amazing. And when, maybe, when the next paycheck comes, I'll pick you up then, or when the holidays are over, or I don't know, when this thing that's 2020 is done, or when. And what I'm going to say to you here and now is say yes now. Stop putting it off. Stop pushing it off. Put yourself first for just a little bit just a little bit, especially as wives, moms, daughters, sisters, caregivers. We seem to not say yes to ourselves until it's really late in the process, right, girls? So because the opportunity of health and happiness, which is what we are, a health and happiness company, is 100% available to all of us, I wanted to share a little bit about my health story. It's been shared, I counted, hundreds of times on Facebook over the last 3 years. I am 3 years and 2 months in to my second go around. Like Emily, I started and I took the products for several months and I had some huge breakthroughs. And then I let a should get in the way. But I came back. And in September of 2017, I reached out to my friend Rochelle and said, something's got to give. So here's my short story. I was a tired, as in taking 2 naps a day, mama. And those 2 naps didn't change anything. They didn't energize me, right? I was drinking 4+ lattes a day, full of sugar and all the whatever. And they weren't doing anything for me. I had spent 20+ years of my life in the morbidly obese category on my medical records. In 2016, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I literally hurt from my hair follicles to my toes. And in 2017, just prior to coming back to Plexus, I got my diagnosis of psoriatic arthritis. My anxiety and anger issues had kind of begun to spiral. My hormonal night sweats, lovely perimenopausal self was a little out of control. But when I called Rochelle that day, she said, let's do this. Let's commit. Let's get it done. I committed to being all in. And that's what I'm going to tell you is necessary. You cannot wishy-wash yourself through being serious about your health. You cannot sort of kind of maybe take your supplements. It's just like you don't sort of kind of maybe eat. We eat every day to sustain ourselves. And these supplements help us make better choices in that, like we've been talking about with candida overgrowth. Those lead to cravings that are out of control in most of us. So the reason I share every day, and I share every day, whether it's through conversations or my social media posting or phone calls or whatever, is because I believe that we all need what Plexus is offering. It all started with the triplex for me as well. As a company, we have a few dozen supplements from the vitamins that Beverly talked about for both our kiddos and our grown-ups, which are extremely bioavailable. If you don't know what that means, that's totally okay. I had never heard that word prior to Plexus. But what it means is that it's absorbed into us in a manner that actually promotes healing. Most of what you find on the shelf everywhere else is not doing that for you. We have omegas that are plant-based. We have energy drinks and meal replacements that are full of nutrition and vitamins and not junk and chemicals that leave you wishing you hadn't drunk it in the first place. Our scientists and research teams are from some of the best places. We have a guy from NASA working with us now. The company is just amazing. I want to thank you all for coming here tonight to listen to us. I want to thank these fine ladies for joining me on this call tonight. And I hope that if you have questions, you will not should or would or when your way out of them, but you will say yes to the friend who invited you tonight. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.